Hey everyone, it's me, Mr. Bruno, and I am here with Hema Mariscal from the CLC Financial Aid Department. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Hi, everyone. As Mr. Bruno said, I am Hema, and I'm the financial aid coach at the College of Lake County. And today we're just going to go over what our CLC award letter looks like.
Perfect. I'm going to jump off. I'm here, but I'm going to pull myself out of the video so that way you can take the whole screen over. And then at the end, if there's any questions, I'll pop back on. But thank you again so much for doing this. I know our students are super curious about what the award letter looks like. We've been getting a lot of questions about the whole process since a lot of schools are starting to send them out. And CLC is such a huge partner with Round Lake. So thank you again for the time. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so this is just a sample of what the award letter looks like for the College of Lake County. You'll get this in the mail, via mail, once you complete your FAFSA. We start sending these out in the middle of the spring semester. So if you haven't received yours yet, that's okay. So it will have your information, give you a little bit about what you're receiving. It will give you the date of the FAFSA that you completed and the estimate of the cost here for that specific year. And then it will give you a guide that will provide you with more information, the cost of 2021-2022 school year, which will start in the fall. It gives you information about grants, scholarships to pay for college. We have our website here for our foundation scholarships. I would encourage everyone to go ahead and check out. The portal is already open for the scholarships that will be for summer and fall. Make sure you look at that. It's free money, and we do have a lot of it available for our students. Then also it will give you, this award letter will give you what you will pay for college, the net cost, including estimates of your direct and indirect cost for going to school at CLC. And then also we do have work options. We do participate in the federal work study program. So if you complete a FAFSA and you would like to participate in that program, we do have employment opportunities for our students. The federal work study program is a really good program to be involved in because it not only provides you a job as a student, but you work up to 20 hours a week. At the end of your work week, you do receive a paycheck just like a normal job. You can use those funds not only for your tuition or fees, but also for any personal expenses. Before a long time ago, you would only be able to use those funds for tuition, but not anymore. It's like a normal job. And another perk of this, of having a work study job is that the jobs that you hold, they are worked around your class schedule. So you never have to worry about missing class because you have to go to work or missing work because you have to go to class. So it's very flexible. I myself started as a work study student when I went to college, and I gained a lot of experience. It helped me pay for some of my schooling. So I do advise students to check this out if you have the opportunity to do so. There's also loan options to finance your education. Now at CLC, we want our students to either complete their associate's degree, certificates, or transfer out to a four-year university with the least debt possible. And that's why we encourage our students to complete the FAFSA, the alternate application, and all the scholarship opportunities, because we don't want our students to take out a big amount of loans. We do have loans available if necessary, and our department will help you walk through the whole process. And we'll make sure that you understand what the loans that you do take out if they are necessary. But again, we want for you to look at all the free options first. And then it also lists a little bit more on other options on how to finance your college. You know, if there's any family contribution that from your parents that might be put forward towards your college. There's payment plans that we offer at CLC. There's also plus loans for parents. There's private loans that you may be able to take out with your private financial institutions. But again, we want to look at all the free options first. If you yourself or your parents are military and have any military benefits, We also have military veteran associates at CLC that can help you with all the documentation and process to get your benefits over to cover for your education. And that gives more information on this award letter about that. And this is just it will list information on how to contact the CLC if you have any questions about your award letter. Our main campus is in Grace Lake, but we also have campuses at the Lakeshore campus, which is in Waukegan, and South Lake campus, which is in Vernon Hills. Right now that we are virtual, the Grace Lake campus is the one that's open and available for students. If you have any questions about financial aid. And let's get to what students are interested about the award letter. So this is what your award letter will look like. It will list the cost for 2021-22 year. And when it will say, the first line will say estimated cost of attendance, which is $10,774. Now, this number does scare a lot of students because when they see this, they think that this is how much they're going to need in order to be able to go to school or start college at CLC. Please don't be scared about this number. This number includes a lot of estimates and a lot of different things that goes into it, and that's what I'm going to explain a little bit more. The main number we want to look at is tuition and fees. So if you take this is for a full-time student that's attending CLC, that's 12 credit hours or more. Their tuition is $3,948. This is for a full year. Then housing and meals are added. CLC does not have dormitories, so we don't put that cost into consideration here, but we're just thinking about a student who lives with a parent, and they may have to contribute to some rent or the cost of how much you're going to spend on meals a year. So this is just an estimate, the $2,072. Estimate of how much books and supplies will cost for you for the year. Again, these are not specific numbers that are real numbers. These are just estimates. How are you going to get to school? Well, right now, we are virtual, so you don't have to really think about transportation. But once you meet on campus, how are you going to get to campus? Are you going to drive, Uber, Lyft? Are you going to take public transportation? So also these transportation costs are put in here. And then the last number is just other expenses that you might have that you might need to put into your education costs. So that's how this number up here comes into that's how we come up with that number. So again, don't be scared about this, the $10,000, because a lot of different things go into that. You just want to make sure you get some type of estimate of how it costs to attend college. Then the next section will be what you're eligible for. That's why it's really important for you to complete your FAFSA, alternate application, or scholarship applications. For this student, the sample student right here, it's going to list what they were eligible for by them completing their FAFSA, which is the federal Pell Grant that they're receiving, and they're eligible for $6,195. And this will be split into the 2 semesters, spring or fall and spring. Then you might also have listed grants from your state, which the state of Illinois offers a MAP grant, which if the student would be eligible for it, then it would be listed here. If you're going to get scholarships from CLC, it would be listed as well. And if you can also add for yourself any external scholarships that you may receive. And when you add up all the numbers for the grants and scholarships, then you come up with the total, which for this student, they're going to be receiving $6,195 per year. If they subtract that amount from the $10,000 of the estimated cost, then they just have to think about how them coming up with an additional $4,579 to make sure that they cover all their expenses for college. And what can they do? Like I said, there's work study options. When you complete your FAFSA, it will also provide you with how much you're eligible for work study. And if you see that there's an amount for work study, the student is eligible to earn up to $4,000 by working at a federal work study program. So if they take that amount, they can use that also for their college expenses. Then if you do decide to take out loans, this is where the loan amounts will go under the loan options. And any other funds that you may have, if you have a college account for in your bank, or if your parents are putting any money towards your education, any military benefits as well, those go there. And then at the end, it does give you a glossary of some of the words and verbiage that is used within the award letter, like what work study means, loans, family contribution, repayment rates for loans, and that information. So once again, once you receive your award letter, these numbers are not set in stone. This does not mean these are the final numbers that you're going to be paying for college. It's just an estimate. It's just a little budget for yourself so you can plan ahead. We always encourage our students, if they have any questions about their award letters, to please contact the financial aid department with all your questions. That way we can walk you through for your specific financial plan, because every student may be different. Every student situation is different. Every individual completes their FAFSA according to their household and their finances. So it's very important that if we have any questions about it, to reach out to one of us.
So Hema, can you actually bring that back up for a second?
Yes.
So I just want to point out, because I think that this is a great one to talk about. So with the with John Smith, this sample student, so if we just looked at tuition and fees at $3,948, and say we used books and supplies, so rounding it up, it's like $5,200 ballpark it. So his grants and scholarships, getting that Pell Grant, would cover the amount of money due directly to CLC, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so at this point, that's the biggest thing that I just wanted to see from here, is that, like, and again, I think you did a great job, and I think and this happens literally every single year, multiple times a year, is that that $10,000 number does look like a huge number, and students will say to me, they'll say, Mr. Bruno, I could go to University of Illinois Chicago for $10,000, but at University of Chicago, you do have to pay to live on campus if you live in the city. Like, you're not living at your parents' house, and the campus is like $12,000 to live on campus, so you cannot go for $3,000. This $6,195 is going to cover your tuition, your fees, and your books and supplies, and if you're in any lab classes, if you're in any of those. So you may have to pay for the things you're paying for anyways. If you're paying for your car, if you're paying for insurance, if you're paying for your cell phone bill, and then, like you said, if you do the work study piece, you could then make that $4,000 a year, and that $4,000 could help you pay for the gas in your car, your cell phone bill, for all of the side things also, correct?
Correct.
So that's important, because before, years ago, you couldn't use that $4,000 to pay off the side portion of things. You only could use it for tuition and fees. So I think it's important for our students to know, and, like, again, call, email, talk to the Department of Financial Aid. They will break this down for you, or talk to me, talk to your counselor. We'll sit down and go line by line through this. Claudia Padilla, our CLC navigator. If you're watching this from another school, talk to your college navigator. We can go through all of this for you, but the thing you need to directly think about in terms of what is due in the spring and what is due in the fall is that tuition and fees, and then your other costs. So please keep that in mind. I don't want anybody to be afraid of going to college because of one big number at the top. You just need to know what's due each semester. And if you do get grant and scholarship money, that's going to be huge to help you pay for it. So awesome thing. And you can also, like you said, apply. There are so many scholarships at CLC that people don't even think about applying for. So if your Pell Grant is lower than that $6,000 number, you can always get that grant scholarship fund up by applying for the countless amount of scholarships CLC provides every single year to continue to bump that number up too, which I think people forget about. So apply for scholarship, students, because that's a huge money making way to pay off school. So Thank you, Hema. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to CLC or your college navigator or your college and career counselor at your school. Thank you.